Catus, Maximus here. This is the can gun. I put the can handle in the title because obviously the word gun is a little bit frowned upon on YouTube, it seems. So this is just a handle for standard style spray cans, any type of spray cans. I have lube here. You can use it with spray paint, all sorts of different cans. And it is sold at Harbor Freight. It's one of the few American-made products at Harbor Freight, and apparently this one is made, well, it just says made in the USA, but real simple. Feels like polyester. This is not like glass fiber reinforced nylon. Real simple. They apparently do have a premium model, which has like a big wide hand trigger on it, a more ergonomic handle. But this thing's only $4 at Harbor Freight, so it's like one of the rare American-made products in Harbor Freight. So most spray cans, and this is only compatible with essentially standard 90-degree nozzles, so this won't work with upside-down spray paint cans that are used in construction. Expanding foam cans, it won't work with. So there's a few types of things. There will be some cans that don't use the standard diameter, but it's pretty easy. You just take it, put it in there, lip the front on, or maybe it's, you lift the front on and just pop it in there, and it works pretty easy. You aim it, and then what it has here is just a little finger that presses down. And so the idea is, one, it gets your finger from away from the top of the can. So obviously spray paint, all sorts of stuff, you always get junk on your fingers, so it actually moves your hand away from that, so it's real nice in that regard. It's actually especially nice. Lots of spray cans, it's always all get so junky around the nozzle, so it's nice that you don't have to have your finger on top of it. If you're spraying, say, adhesives or various other products, it's actually safer because your hand's just away from any of those chemicals, which is kind of nice, and just allows you to have a little bit more control because now you're using greater leverage because you're lower down on your finger. And it makes it pretty simple. Lots of these lubricants, I just happen to have this Prolong, no equal in the world, nothing equally as junky. No. Makes it pretty easy. These types of cans, you spray them, and that's like one of the worst things is that you want to get just a little bit out, and there's such a stout spring and that they're pressurized, it just goes and you just blast, especially with lubricants where you're trying to get a little bit of lubricant and it just blasts everywhere. So having this type of thing allows you to get real fine control. Just like so. Well, not that fine, but still, compared to just using my finger, you get much better control, and you can just use a lube can like that. So that's the big deal about this thing. That didn't help. This thing is really stiff. Oh, now it's helping. This thing was nearly impossible, one of these Harbor Freight air things. So popping it out is just the opposite of putting it in. So when you put it in, you put the front end in first, pop it down, but when you want to release it, you do it like this. Now, since this is a sharp piece of metal on the inside that it's catching on, this little lip here will start to wear out. What is interesting is it is a simple one-piece mold on this. That's how they are making them in the United States. Is not only a super cheap material, although I don't know what the premium one looks like, but if we pull this apart here, come on now, one mold. There'll be two pieces. I assume that they actually have the mold cut out to where they have the triggers and the same thing, but this is just one piece of plastic, and then it's just folded over, and surprisingly enough, the spring for the trigger is just this arm on a lever, so it's super simple, and basically impossible for anything to go wrong with it. I can get that lined up. There we go. Pretty good snaps in there that actually hold it together. Overall, not too bad for like whatever it is, the $4 or something Harbor Freight has it for. And actually, this is something I really like the idea of because it is kind of cheap and simple, so you're not worried about breaking it. It actually kind of helps protect the can because if you drop the can, this will help, even if this falls off, and it most likely will. It does kind of offer a little bit of protection for the head of the can, and maybe it won't snap off or you won't lose the nozzle. So overall, kind of a neat idea. And once again, it's one of those rare items that Harbor Freight sells that's made in the United States. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.